Ghana Olympics akwantuo no ehyaase afi apema hankron adunum emienu na sabre no Ghana ede akansifo baako enson enom de ko akansie no ekoso ewo Helsinki abrochemamu enei se yebu kompo akoye chire na yahwe wo mai Ghana eye akansie anase agokansie emu abakosemu a akoso ewo Olympics akwantuo mu no yeni Ghana fo mienu a omodem ba wo mabo edanso ye opanyi Leo Myles-Mills and Daniel Adomako ene din komo. Leo Myles-Mills oye olympian watimi akọ Olympic Games awako akonya abasobode empreno. Ene wo kyereye ni hwe hono wonyaye e wo bra wokọ ekukusi akan e Olympic Games mu.
It brings back big excitement. Being there, seeing it, done it. First you hear about it, and then you prepare yourself for it, and now you've been there, you've seen it, you've done it. And so when others are going, you have nothing for them but encouragement. They've prepared themselves very well to go out there. They've qualified. They deserve to be there. And, you wish them all the best at this time, as I was wished all the best of luck when I went. So, yes, it does bring back a lot of memories. My biggest motivator was my brother, John Myles-Mills. He went to 2 Olympics. I mean, he was a silver medalist at World Championships in Budapest. We seem to forget that all the time. Sometimes it doesn't come up at all for us to talk about. But, all this time I was in school, I was playing soccer. I was happy doing it. I had a lot of enjoyment. And he was doing all these things. And I remember very well, I had Carl Lewis's picture in my pocket when I go to soccer practice, and for me, I was playing the soccer, but I could feel myself kind of getting attached to athletics. And so seeing my brother there, kind of encouraged me a lot.
Leo, eya bakosem kese edima oman Ghana. Esanse wono ena ye obi oye Ghana ni a wodi kan a wotimi bubu ene botete edu record weda ho ewo 100 meters emirikatu mu. Sa ne record yi eda ho a emfie beye aduonu ansana abrante a wono nso etumrika aye freno Benjamin Azamati ebubu sa record yi ewo amfie mpimbienu ene aduonu baako mu.
It takes everything out of you, or it took everything out of me, I might say. And I was preparing to go back and defend my national title. I had won it the previous year, the NCAA Championships, Division 1. I had won it the year before, which was 1998. And the weather conditions were not that great. I won it with one of the slowest times ever to win NCAA Championships. And I did not care because my goal was to go there and win. If I have to run 20 seconds to win it, I didn't care. I won. And so the following year, I said to myself, I'm going to go back to defend my title. I need to work harder. I have to work harder. I need to put in the good work. And lo and behold, things went well. And it took a lot out of me. I mean, I had to work twice a day, all week. On the day of rest, actually, I wouldn't rest. I would be doing something, and my coach would see me doing something and he would get so mad at me that, we have in track and field, we have 2 types of rest. You have the dormant rest completely, where you don't do anything. If you want to eat and sleep and watch movies or play video games, just do that. And then you have the active rest. The active rest is where you go out to jog, stretch, just things a little bit, to still get the muscle, to remind the muscle that it still has work to do, So you do that. And on my complete day of rest, I was out there doing something, and my coach saw me and he was so mad at me. And, he said, you need to rest, You cannot be pounding the body just like that every single day. It needs time to recover, and I was so determined. And But the coach is a coach. You have to listen to his advice because he has drawn out the program. And so, so I just accepted it, stopped whatever I was doing and just went back home, just rested, just ate, drank, fluids to keep myself hydrated, watch movies, just relax. And then the following day we came back and we started working out again and things like that. But it is a lot of work. It is not an easy thing. And so when I got out there and I was ready to run, I knew I was ready to run because in the heats, I ran very relaxed and I was able to run a 10.06. It did not feel like I had run at all. And that is what brought my mind to the fact that, hey, you are more than ready. So going to the finals, I knew something was telling me, you've won it. I've won it already, but I just need to go out there to prove it. So I went out there to go and run and beat the field, whoever was in there. Going for the time wasn't the plan, was not in the plan of things. And so when I ran it across the finish line, I was just jubilating. I wasn't even looking behind me. And one of the assistant coaches said, hey, look behind you, look behind you. He pointed to the scoreboard and I saw 9 seconds just flashing like that. It was just 9 seconds just doing this. The rest had not come. So just 9 seconds on the board, it was just flashing in and out. And I'm like, what in the name? And then it came out, it says 9.98. And I was like, hallelujah. I wasn't too anxious about the time going into it, but after, I was so impressed that after all this hard work, it has paid off. Things have finally come to fruition, and you're just so ecstatic. That how much work you've put into it, and so to win again by breaking 10 seconds, oh my goodness, that's beyond joy. That's beyond joy. Yes.
Massive.
And when I ran that record, Azamati was the one who came to break it.
Yeah, who broke it just a few years ago, yeah.
Right. And when I ran that record, Azamati was 1 year old. Azamati was 1 year old. So I was like, holy moly. No wonder they say records are meant to be broken.
Daniel Adomako, dodoɔ no a ɛfrɛ no Parslem, na wɔno nso ɛyɛ ɔkansini a wɔka 4x400 relay team a wɔn ɛkɔ Sydney 2000 akansie no mu. Na nea wɔfa mu ɛne nea wohunu yɛ ɛwɔ saa akansie no mu no ɔno yɛ kyɛ.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. The first time I won the national team I call Olympic Games. So I been I think I can sanuma kobi da and do sunu no man kobi kele sanuma kobi and then I bunu mako I think 2 or 3 times and me am I fresh as I qualified for Olympic Games. That you were no most but like they are the first time I buy a training you do a very day with me and even the sign one cry say tatantas 2 weeks also. Last I was telling my friend because somebody 2 weeks on Ghana to Kumasi Stadium. That's not commented on the best Tatan track I wore. If you we come Kumasi now we are put in there now Philippines but it's your online but who call Roshina who call no Tatan tracks now very soft. To me can we on to Sabre. Also to me can we are just our command who say that what we can have bro. We not bodily pains be in selection. Now Tatan tracks no is it there didn't almost different types. Mondo, so many types are more. To me, can we are Ghana say September is Kumasi. To me, can I say yeah, who didn't know we do it here. The parent bell, but they are in the running shoes, hitting ground, back. But you say I got closer. Now why you who giddy. But I'm sure the park quite far from you. And so I will tell them the video to cry. I want to say.
So oba Ghana entumi enya ekuo bi a wɔn ebetumi akɔ 4x400 emirikatu akansie no efiri mfie empim emienu akansie a yɛkɔ ya yenya bi ɛwɔ Sydney Olympics no mu nti ebisa sɛ ɛdeɛn ɛna ma saa monipakuo a mokɔ 4x400 emirikatu akansie no etumi egyina ye esi akansa
yeah 400 no na no 4 athlete man is plano na yetre no migration Yeah, I say in the from about 4 or 5 years ago. It will be him say race or claim this baton on bar. The far, we couldn't.
Leo Myles-Mills. Olympic Games biara edanso. Na wusu ehunu ewo mfiempim bienu Sydney Olympic Games no mu no. Me wogidie pa se na danso a na ene Athens 2004 me kire mfiempim bienu ene enan akansi e course o Greece abrochima mu no. Ebobra. Na ka kire yen Athens okusi akan no. Wo hunu ne san.
In the space of 4 years, there's an ample time. You have a lot of time to prepare and everything like that. Coming back for the second time was a little difficult for me because I was out of college. I've been on the professional level a little bit. But however, I might say I kind of overdid things. You know, the anxiety was too much that I was trying to impress myself. Like, okay, you went to the first one, you missed it narrowly. This time you have to make it. This time you have to make it. And so events or the races that you have to run relaxed and, you know, power through it, I get to force myself and I felt so tensed. It wasn't, I did not feel like me running, you know. That was one. Two, I went to Athens with injury, stress fracture in my ankle. And it was very painful with my first step out of the blocks. You know, it was my strongest foot that I get off the block, I land on first before the second leg follows. And I was using, how do you call it? The aqua treadmill. It was a treadmill underwater. You know, so instead of me being on the track and running and, you know, pounding this leg and this foot, it gets so severe, so sore, so hurting that I couldn't do it. So I had to do it in the pool instead. And it helped. It helped immensely. It helped. At the same time, too, it had disadvantages because I wasn't really using spikes on the track to really, you know, have the feel. So I went like 2 or 3 days, I got out of the pool straight to Athens. So it was in Athens that I started using back into spikes again to train to get ready for the races. And so I would say, in all, I was just grateful. I was just grateful that I could compete and not injured any more of my injuries. And just very grateful that I was able to do what I accomplished out there because I knew I wasn't 100% fit.
Wusi akan ewo Olympic Games mu adekese pa. Nanso emfie kakra etwa mu ni no kamia yese Ghanafo womu enhyada emfa opepa bi entai Ghanafo akansifo akiri ewo Olympics Games mu. So wodwene se womu si akan ewo Olympic Games mu ema oman Ghana no ye bo mabaso yedie.
No, not at all. We don't. I mean, case in example is the just ended Africa Games.
Yeah.
You know, and before I go to that, I'll bring your mind quickly up to the Paris Olympic Games, where we have, you know, during the torch when they were going to light it up. You see how many people passed the flame here and there and things like that. You know, in Ghana, I was so sad. I mean, I call it Africa Olympic Games, right? It is our Olympic Games, and we have to light the cauldron and things like that. And we have Olympians, we have good past athletes. Micah here is still alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is still.
Others are there. That they could have. Azuma Nelson is there. John Myles-Mills is there. Ohini Karikari is there. All these guys were there, but you have to have somebody from the local organizing committee to go and light that torch up again. I mean, it just doesn't speak well. You know, you've been behind the curtains, organized the thing well. Give these guys to a little opportunity more. for people to know them. People don't know, up till now, people don't know me, Leo Myles-Mills, when I come to Ghana. People don't know who I am. You know, people, and I'm not saying that I should be put on the jumbo throne screen out there somewhere and saying, hey, this is the person or that and that and that. But how do we get to know these past Olympians, these current Olympians? You know, one, it all comes to, I would say we have to market them. You know, we have to put them out there. But we don't celebrate our Olympians anywhere close enough in our beautiful country, Ghana. We don't.
Happy Sports. Yebo Ghana for akansi fo binmu a ebrebi atwamu wo mukosi akan e wo Olympic Games mu eje nmunyam edema Ghana. Ose